Okay, here we are. Good morning, everybody. It is brunch. It is Sunday. It is actually for me. It's final, not final. Fantastic Four day. I'm going at 10 with my wife. Nothing is going on in game. It's the boring week, which kind of sucks since I will not be here next week. So, as promised, I brought in a guest. This person has been a guest of mine in the past on Tales Off the Holotables. The statistician who helped me to tell the people around the community to fuck off when it comes to drop rate. Oh, you can curse here, by the way. I don't give a shit. Um,
Sounds good.
who helped me to tell the community to fuck off when it came to Kyrotex and shards and different shenanigans that players thought CG was pulling on us. So we have David here, who recently
I guess.
started his own content creation journey on Twitch. And David, I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself, say hi, and then also if you'd like to drop your information in the chats, you are welcome to do that. Oh fuck, my
So
medicine.
yeah, so hi guys. I'm David. I'll drop my Twitch link in the chat. I've been playing this game for how long is it? 7.5 years. I've been a guild and alliance leader for 6.5 of those. I'm now an endgame player. My roster is basically the same level as Egnards at this point. So yeah, I've been a massive fan of this game. I've been a massive Star Wars fan my whole life. Big gamer my whole life as well. Kind of my guildies have just kind of said, "Hey, you should get into this stuff. You'd probably be good at it." So I've been streaming for only like 2 weeks now, but really enjoying it. I play obviously this game, and I've been playing some other games that I enjoy, like Marvel Rivals, Elden Ring, Night Rain, whatever. Also, it's been kind of nice showing, like, one thing you and I talked about a year ago, Egnards, is that like this game is really good for like dads, right? I feel like
Yeah,
dads are the main
that's
clientele
my
of this
whole
game.
guild.
Why? Yeah, that's my whole guild too, minus me. um, and like one thing I like is showing these dads who've never played another video game before what's out there. So if you're ever interested, feel free to come by. I'll drop my link in the chat. Um, but yeah, thank you for having me on. It's good to talk to you again.
I'm actually going to drop that over. I mean, it's the multi-stream, so it'll double up, but I'm going to drop it over here so that YouTube can see it as well. Um, it's interesting because in the game, like you say, it's generally middle-aged men who play. And when I look at like my YouTube analytics, I generally get like 1.5 to 3,000 views or watches on a video, and YouTube will tell me that 99.7% of my user base is male, 0.2% is female, and 0.1% is unspecified. And I know some people they just do whatever, it doesn't matter, but it's still heavily skewed male. And I think in my guild now there are 49 of us who are male, one person that I know is female. And I would say like 45 out of the 49 men are all dads in their middle ages. And it's just life. That's this game.
Yeah. For me, 50 out of 50 are male. We haven't had a woman in the guild in a year or two at this point, and at least 45 are dads as well. Guaranteed.
So your guild is not inclusive and nobody should join your guild, is what you're saying.
My guild is inclusive. I haven't talked to a woman who's played this game
It's
in a while who is at, an end game level.
David is part of the Little Rascals, the He-Man woman haters club. For those of you old enough to get that reference. Shiz, I got the episode pass. I don't normally buy the episode pass, but I did this time because I wanted to get the focus datacrons, because I generally buy it like every third month or so. I wanted to get the Kix Shard. I think Kix is one of the coolest fucking models in this game right now. I fell in love when I saw him, because at first I was like, I hate this stupid like clone thing. There's so many clones coming out. They all look the same. Yes, I'm a racist when it comes to clones. I don't care. You can quote me on that. But Kix just looks so cool. And so I
He
needed to
does.
get some shards to make him useful. And I wanted to get a light side token, or I keep calling them light side tokens, but I wanted to get a light speed token. But unfortunately, I assumed the token you would get in the episode pass would be for either faction. I didn't realize that this was only for smugglers, and the only character that I currently have at G12 within those two factions is Poggle the Lesser. So I kind of fucked up there.
Yeah, these things were surprisingly limited in their scope so far, right? Like, I feel like when they first announced it, it sounded like it'd be this whole game-changing thing. You could buy it, basically mini Lightspeed bundles, and then it's like you have an option of what, 3 or 4 characters to go to
So
Relic 1, 5 stars. Like,
so I think for us, right, we're at the end game. And I know that in the chat, there's probably a lot of people who are in the end game. I never expected these to be big for us.
oh, 100%, yeah.
But I am, when I opened up the episode pass and I saw that there was only one available for free, one available paid, nothing available in the stores yet, I was kind of disappointed because I did think that there would be more catch up for the players who are a little bit younger. And right now, it does not look to be the case. It seems like they're not coming to the store, and the only way that they're gonna sell them is probably going to be in like Lightspeed bundles, but just hey, buy this one token, or hey, buy these 2 tokens. I don't know. I'm not disappointed by them being in the game, but I am so far a little disappointed for the early game in their rollout.
Yeah, I thought there'd at least be something in the store.
I
Like,
did.
the fact that there's none is...
I looked after I got the episode pass. I was like, oh, let me see. Let me see if it's in the episode shipment. Let me check if it's in the featured shipments. Let me check in this store. And I saw nothing. So I was a little bit like, okay. Like, sure. Seems weird, but fine. Where are the level 4 and 5 ones coming? They'll be paid. Which, whatever. It doesn't really affect me.
And of
So,
course, they're not doing
well,
it to 7 stars. But
and you're not doing it the 7-star. Well, for me, I just wanted the relic levels, but yes, you're not getting them to 7 stars. I don't. We don't yet know how a 5-star relic 3 character is going to work within the game. Like if they're going to be very useful or not to
yeah.
players. I think that they will, but
Oh, certainly.
we'll see. Now, while we continue talking, because my timelines for Sundays generally, they're kind of like hit or miss, right? It depends on when my wife schedules the movie for the day, and she's scheduled today for 10 a.m. and I was like, oh good, that's super early. That gives me all this great time to do this thing. I'm gonna load up Hot Utils. I'm gonna just start running my raid runs for the day, and we don't need to talk about them at all, but just to get my shit done while we chat.
I'm saving mine for my stream later tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern, if anyone would like to join.
I did my pirate run and I did my Vanguard run last night just because the Vanguard run, it's the 3-man Keller and Beck, and it's such a shit show. It took me an hour to do. And I was like, I'm not doing that on stream. I'm not subjecting people to that on stream. So I'll do the ones that are not as bad. Where are my mods?
Before the raid started, I told my guild I want you to have an R8 Beck team and an R7 Bad Batch team. So now not everyone did the full R8, but I did. So thankfully that's a one and done for me. The ones that take time are obviously the Clone 3-man and now Bad Batch. I mean, they ruined Bad Batch. Bad Batch is really like so at first I was of the mindset they were the anti-Inquisitors. What I mean by that, right? Inquisitors, they came out right, they sucked, they were pushing everything, and then they got better, obviously. But like Bad Batch, I mean, they were a good team. I genuinely think they're fun to play, but they just ruined their one purpose. Like they are terrible to play in this raid.
I enjoy them in GAC, definitely. I use them against Quad May now, which frees up Bane, and it allows Bane to do a lot more, which is awesome. But I do it like I don't think the run in the raid is much harder as long as you get the consistency down of how to do the run. But I
That's true.
do think that it doesn't feel good because all of
No,
their
it
core
doesn't.
mechanics are not. They're like, hey, we're shutting off all of their core mechanics and just have fun, right? So it's like in
Unless you have Relic
Naboo,
9.
unless you're Relic 9. But it's like in Naboo, if they said, okay, Gungans don't get a shield generator unless they're Relic 9.
Yeah.
We'll still make it so you can max it, but it's not going to be fun because that's their core mechanic. Um, the last time I did Bad Batch in 2 runs, it wasn't hard at all. It's just I didn't find it to be very interesting for them to do that in that way. Let's see.
No, I agree.
You're gonna throw my Slenderman squad in here. Don't remember if I put the crit avoidance arrow. I did. Okay, good. And the Clone Man squads, I actually, I know some people have given CG a lot of shit about the RNG on them. My thought process on these 2 runs is that this run, the 2-man, is not hard at all. You might restart once or twice. Like, it happens. You might get a little really bad RNG. It is what it is. The 3-man, there's a lot of upfront RNG, but I kind of feel like I'm getting one over on CG. Right? Like, they never intended. So, like, I don't even mind the RNG because I know I'm putting myself in the position of being frustrated, and it's not really their fault.
Like with the mall run, like the R7 mall run in Naboo, like by the time you could be halfway through the run before you realize you have to reset. So that was already 10 minutes in.
Yes.
But this is, I mean, it's 3 turns in.
It's
so that's
super fast. It is super, super, super fast, which is really, really nice that you can kind of do it that way. And I like that. It doesn't bother me really at all. And I haven't had a day yet. I know some people have, and maybe, I'm sure it'll happen, but I haven't had a day yet where, like, it's taken me more than 15 minutes to get the entire run done of the 3-man.
Yeah. I only got the squad last week, and I did it once so far, and I kind of was misinterpreting Arnold in his video, but
yeah,
once I realized that I was kind of being stupid, easy. It was just so easy.
It is. It's just hitting those RNG gates. And sometimes there is a little RNG going into like wave 3, depending on who has the turn meter. But it's still 5 minutes in versus 25 minutes in.
And with the Dire Fortitude buff, that kind of can account for not having the right turn meter setup. I mean, it stacks so fast. It's like a conquest buff.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. And it makes it like, I thought it was going to take my guild 3 months to hit the next box, which is the second to last box, the 375. We are about 6 weeks ahead of that right now. So right now we're 6 weeks ahead, and the last raid we did, we got right here. Like we got 373 million out of 375. Frustrating.
You guys get that today.
So I think we're gonna get it now.
Yeah, like for me, our goal was by the time Mace comes back, we hit max box. Yeah. However, I think we're gonna hit it today.
Oh, so you guys are ahead of us. We're lazy.
Yeah.
I have a lot of lazy people we're trying to slowly push out.
So when with Naboo, we only went to the second to last crate, and I kind of had regrets because by maybe like February or February of this year, we were at like 480 mil, right?
Okay.
And then we got some new people in who were like, "Hey, our last guild, it was a collapsing endgame guild, which is definitely something I want to talk to you about in a bit."
Okay.
But so they're like, "Hey, can we please hit max crate? We're so close." And I'm like, "Sure." So everyone, we push a little further, and for the last, I don't know, 3 or so months in Naboo, we hit max crate.
Okay.
But now, I mean, we're poised to be like in the first 40 guilds to be it here. And a large part of that, we wouldn't have been able to do that without the Underman. because otherwise, you need like 11 mil per person, and Mace would have been that if you could only run one clone team. But I hit 12 mil already, and I spent maybe like 40, $50 on CX2 and Napo, which is the
Yeah.
most I've ever spent on one tune. But I have the two clone teams. I have R8 Beck, I have R7 Bad Batch, and I have like a 900k Pirates team now.
It has certainly sped things up. There we go.
And and I am glad CG didn't shoot themselves in the foot by nerfing these Underman teams. I understand why they wanted to do it, but it would have completely destroyed any goodwill they'd been building back with the community.
Yes, my thought process on it was kind of like, okay, like if they do it, I'm not going to be mad because I get it. I understand fully why, but it will piss a lot of people off. So I am super happy that they decided to keep things the way that it is. It has definitely motivated my guild. We have been a lot lazier on raids. We went to top box -2 for Naboo because we thought it was only going to be 7 months, right? Like, we didn't know it was going to go for a year. And when they gave us that raid guidance of, hey, you're going to get 3 more months of this, we did poll the guild and say, hey, do you guys want to try? And everyone kind of voted, no, we don't want to. And the agreement was, all right, well, we're going to go balls to the walls on this raid then. And that's, that's what we've done.
And yeah, I mean, Naboo definitely was I think objectively was the worst raid, just because of its length.
It was.
Thank God they got rid of that.
I have my take with Naboo, I think, is a little bit more interesting. I just want to. And he goes next. I don't really like this.
Can you get the turn meter?
Well, no.
Yes, CX2. Oh wait.
No, well, no. What I wanted to do is not have this guy go.
Oh.
Let's see. We might just have to. Okay, it worked. I wasn't sure if that was gonna kill him. My thought process with Naboo was that as a raid, it functions way better than the other raids that we've gotten. But
I agree
as a time commitment, it was just so boring to play because of how long it was to play.
Yeah. No, I agree. I did like Naboo mechanically.
Yeah.
I mean, Endor was super quick and I think was underappreciated because it was not the same game we've been playing.
That's what made it hard, right? Like, you're fundamentally, you were taken out of the game. The CG was like, all right, you're playing this new game now. And we were all like, wait, what? We have no basis for this new game that you're asking us to play. Of course. Oh, maybe I'll still get it.
And I mean, the good part was that you could kind of just spam like the first and third button and leave out whatever like lowered the stacks of that one buff.
Yeah.
But it was boring and it was not the same game. Like, yes, there were like the relics, the stat levels that carried to certain stats, but like it didn't feel like our investments were, meaningful.
I didn't even watch the screen most of the time. Like, you could watch my streams from back then, and I was just looking at my keyboard and like the very bottom right-hand corner of my screen, because it didn't matter what was going on the screen. It was just like, all right, this is up, hit that. This is up, hit that. There was no communication between my brain playing a game. It was just like, all right, do these inputs.
Yeah. I remember for the Leia solo, like I had a few people with some really bad motion sickness, so we made a guide that was just all the button inputs, so you didn't need to look at the screen.
Yep.
And then,
that's exactly what it was.
And thankfully, they're extending the raid times to a year. I mean, at least that means our investments are going to be more worth it. This raid, they really had to, because 2 of the 5 intended teams are not in the game yet.
Yeah.
Which is just, it's still so weird. Like, Obviously,
Well,
there had to be something that happened behind the scenes here with this raid.
so I do think I am of the conspiracy theory mindset that there was a Peridia oriented raid that got scrapped.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
just very weird that Jabba got something great, Leia got something great, Hondo is getting something great, and Ahsoka got nothing. Right? It just leads
Yeah.
evidence to that for me. Um, I think that the idea behind this raid is not uninteresting. You know, you have to work towards the max crate over time, and that makes sense to me. But the problem is that because of the way the game works, what you're basically saying to players is, okay, we're going to erase your rewards, and you have to re-earn them again, and
Hmm.
that functionally does not feel good within a community.
No. And I really wish they maybe like once a month or something had a rotating earlier raid. Now in
You're going to
Naboo,
make me go
people probably
back.
don't want that. Just like, you know, or if they could convert like the Omicron on Scout Trooper and who had in crate? I'm forgetting at this point. And Bombardier on
Bosch,
Scout Trooper.
Halloween Leia.
Oh, Boosh. Yeah. Like refund them or convert them to like a galactic challenge or conquest, or if they if they don't want to make it TW whatever, but convert it into something that actually will have use
I have
at
always
all.
thought that raid Omicrons I think I made a Reddit post on this like a year ago, should convert to a TB Omicron because TB doesn't matter, right? Like it doesn't matter if it's
No.
unbalanced because you're playing against a computer, you're not playing against other people. So doing something like that where it is a raid Omicron, then it becomes a TB Omicron is not super problematic.
Yeah, and that's why the TB Omicrons are, essays.
Yes. And they're basically usually they're like, okay, um, you get 400% more health and 8,000% more damage because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge proponent for getting them because I think it's super great to not waste my time.
Yeah. And I know you've been a big proponent of the TB simming, and I've over time I've agreed with you more and more on that. Like, just if we have specific teams that we've
Hmm.
already maxed with this before, let us just one button. Like, TB is not interesting. I
Yes.
mean, it's part of the issue with content with this game, right? Like, the only fun content is Grand Arena and Raid to an extent, and there's nothing
Yes.
else.
Um, my whole thing with simming is kind of like you said, like this game has such a huge time commitment behind it that I have shit to do. Next weekend I'm going on vacation with my wife, right? And it's TB week, and it sucks when TB week coincides with like when I'm going away because I don't want to be playing the game
Yeah.
when I'm at the beach. I want to be able to turn it off mostly. I want to be able to say, all right, I'm not involving myself with what's going on here because I would rather spend this time, with my wife. I know some people in chat, and it always comes up when we talk about TB, are saying like TB simming. I've brought it up before. I do think that you can sim TB if you go about it in a smart way. If anyone is interested in that, I have like 3 or 4 Reddit posts over the course of
You
like
do,
3 years. And it definitely can be done in a way where you don't trivialize TB.
Yeah, and like, you know, back what I said in the intro about how, this game is mostly dads, right?
Hmm.
One thing I find kind of ironic, right? You have a bunch of people who are never gamers before, and they play this game because it's a mobile game and it's a Star Wars game.
Yes.
But, when you get to the end game level and you get deep into the game, this game, you're playing this game as much as, people are
Anything else?
playing anything else. The only difference is it's on your phone. But it is funny how it's turned. It is kind of cool how it's turned. people who are otherwise casuals or never played games into kind of serious gamers. I mean, this game has so much to it, like more than a lot of. I would say this game is even more involved than a bunch of MMOs because of the intricacy of kits and mods and datacrons. There's a lot in this game that I feel like, once you were in it for years, you just kind of forget. Like I've tried to explain this game to my friends, especially of late since they've kind of started watching my streams. And it's like, how can I explain this game? I have years of game knowledge in it.
It's hard. I've had friends try to like start playing, and I had a friend who like bought all these Lightspeed bundles, and he was like, "Oh, I'm getting caught up," and then 2 months later, he's like, "This it's just too much. There's too much going on."
Yeah.
I think that there is a fundamental disconnect when we think about mobile gaming. That there is a generation gap where mobile gaming, when smartphones first came out, for me was, I don't know, like Jetpack Joyride and like Stickman fights. And there was these stupid little things that you played for 20 minutes at a time while you're at the doctor's office, like just waiting for your appointment.
Exactly.
Now you have this whole style of game where when I first downloaded this game, I did not take it seriously. I played 10 minutes, 15 minutes at a clip. But now, even if you take away the streaming commitment, just the commitment of the game itself, on a big, like tomorrow, I'm going to be playing for 2 to 3 hours between conquest, between TB, between doing my GAC, like in the morning. Like it is a lot of time that goes into it.
Oh yeah, we always call the Monday of TV and Conquest Hell Day.
Yes,
and we have a raid, so even better. But I mean, it is crazy.
The first day is not as terrible, I think, at our level, just because like I don't technically have to do TB, like if we're being honest, and I'm sure you don't either. Like you can just deploy on day one.
Yeah, we tell them. We actually say don't do missions.
Yes. I have it in my day plans for day one. It's your day off. Just deploy. Do the Kira mission if you have it available to you. Nothing else. There's no reason to do anything else. There's no point in doing anything else. You're just hating yourself if you do anything else.
Yeah, that's what we say too, because it's like, at least give them this little brief. Also, like, I know they're probably gonna add more bonus planets, but I really don't want them to. Like, if you preload Zepho, you'll have 5 planets on day 4.
And it sucks. It's so bad. I do. It really is. I hate day 4. I hate day 4. I don't mind day 5 and 6 because like you have less, like everything's R8 or R9, so you have less to do. But day 4, I can do every single mission. So I do every single mission. And it sucks. It sucks every single time. I'm in the same boat. Like, I want something new. I want something interesting for TB. I would love if they put Naboo in there and like there was some Gungan stuff, but I need them to figure out saving me time in TB before they do that, because I don't want another 20 minutes added to my time on that specific day.
And like what me and my guild we've done over the past year or so, we made a spreadsheet of like, here are all the teams that can auto each mission.
Yeah.
However, that will still take an hour. Yes. I will usually just be playing a different game, and on my phone, I'll just be like, okay, select team, press auto. And that takes an hour. I mean, it's crazy.
That is the thing with the autos. Like it saves me some time because I can go to my phone, then go away from my phone, go to my phone, go away from my phone. But it's still time that I have to think about the game. It's still time where I have to constantly check in with my phone. It's time where I can't do anything on my phone. Like I can't be like, oh, I'm running all these things on auto. Let me go read my work emails. Let me go check in on my wife and text her and watch the dumb cat video that she sent me so that I can be like LOL or whatever. I have to be in that stupid combat for that hour. Yeah. And yes, in between combats, I can like switch back and forth, but I just want to get it done as fast as I possibly can so that I can get over it. And I'm looking forward to when my guild day 2 is like that because it's starting to like loosen up now, and you don't need as much. Days
Same
3 to
for us, yeah.
6 are the only ones that matter. So I cannot wait till day 2 is just deploy, call it a day, go enjoy whatever you're doing.
Yeah, hopefully one day soon for both of us.
So
Because, I mean, it's just boring.
it's tough. So we're gonna. I know you and I talked about this yesterday.
Mhm.
We're gonna kind of change the format of brunch slightly today. No, Xander, I'm not. I'm not admitting to watch. My wife knows. My wife knows that there's like a 3% chance that I'm watching any video that she sends me. She knows that. She knows that going into sending me a video, that there is the smallest chance, and she knows it so well that when it's a video she really wants me to watch, she will let me know. She'll be like, I need you to really watch this one. Because she's aware that I'm not going to watch it. So we decided we were going to change the format of brunch just slightly for this week to trial it on weeks where I have a guest. And we're going to kind of like jump into and out of roster reviews so that you're not sitting there bored, which was not fun for you or any guest that I would have on. And so that I can still get these reviews done so that people are not mad at me. So we're going to jump into one, and as an end game player, you are welcome to give your input and disagree with me as much
Yeah.
as you want. And then we'll go back to talking, and maybe we'll catch up with chat, who we've been completely ignoring. Fuck you guys. So let's pop the game
I've
down.
been through.
Oh, you know what? Actually, keep talking for a second, because before
Yeah.
I do that, the one thing I want to do is
Hmm.
reload my base mods. I don't want to get
Oh, okay.
fucked. So I want to make
Keep
sure that
talking. All
Hot
right.
Utils is
Let's
doing its
see.
shit.
We got anything good in chat? Kamir. Oh, okay. So Animusha, you've said something I agree with. I have
Okay.
been telling my guild I want Vision's characters in this game. I
Okay.
think Vision's characters and High Republic characters, if they want to stick to Disney canon, and obviously in quotes because Visions isn't canon, that is what they need to do. Like Visions, you know, I think maybe this is controversial. You guys can tell me. I think even if you've never seen Visions, having a Visions character is better than Quiggled. Like any of the characters from Vision. I mean, there's the Duel, which it's making their own spin-off series for. There's like from season 1 at least, there's the Ninth Jedi, which is kind of a better version of the Star Wars sequels. And they have all these cool, obviously one-off characters. A lot of them are Jedi and Sith,
Okay.
and they just first of all they just look cool, right? And all they need to do in the post is say, "Hey, watch this 15-minute short video." Like the Skeleton Crew and whatever. I am currently watching it, but it is 8 hours. But a 15-minute short, right? If you have Disney Plus, you can do that while you're watching breakfast. You see it once, you know the character, and they're complete stories in 15 minutes. They have 2 seasons already. I could think of 20 characters they could draw from. They'll all visually look cool, and that could be a whole era. That could be 2 eras so far, one for each season,
I actually
and
have
then
never
go
seen
into High
Visions.
Republic.
I've
I would
never
recommend.
never watched it. What happens to me with TV is, because I work so much, when I get home, I try to find things that my wife and I will both watch together. So I'm generally very behind on the things that I want to watch. Um, if she goes to bed early, I might watch something. So I haven't seen any of the Tales of the Republic, Tales of the Empire, Tales of the Jedi. I haven't seen Visions. Um, I've never really considered Vision characters coming to the game, but I don't hate the tie-in of saying, "Hey, here's your kit reveal. Here's a link to the episode. Yes, you need Disney Plus to watch it, but here's a link to the episode." I think that's an interesting tie-in with Disney to do something like that. I can't comment
And
on
yeah,
any of the characters. I don't know any of them, but it is interesting.
yeah. And honestly, like if you did want to watch, just go on IMDb and watch the highest rated ones, and those are the ones that anyone else would
Are
be
worth
thinking
it.
of anyway. Like season one, I mean, the top two off the top of my head are The Duel, which is now getting its own spin-off show,
Okay.
and The Ninth Jedi. Um, two best ones. Like I could pull it up right now. And they just announced season three. Like I think Visions for Star Wars, I'm not even talking about this game,
Hmm.
is the way to go. It's new voices, new opinions, going different directions, right? Star Wars, obviously, the sequels flopped for various reasons, and now they're keeping all the content confined within the timeline of stuff we've seen.
Yeah.
But Visions, I mean, a lot of them do seem set like in an like parallel timeline original trilogy, but a lot of them also don't. Like the Ninth Jedi, for example, which is getting its own spin-off show as well, is basically reimagining the sequels. It's
Okay.
set in the future, the Jedi are extinct, and some stuff happens. Like stuff like that, completely new characters, new planets, new like visual styles. This is what we need for the franchise to continue. Like, Marvel, right? I'm not even talking about the MCU, but they have shows, they have kids shows, if you go on, I mean, any of those channels kids watch, they have like 50 different shows that are animated. They have the comics, they have all this. They have so much within their canon, within non-canon. Star Wars needs to do that too, and that's why I'm happy Visions is getting a season 3. Like this is what Star Wars needs. They don't need this one timeline, they don't need everything to connect. Give us the far future, give us the far past, give us, new corners of the galaxy.
Well, that's the
And that's
thing.
what I love about Visions.
I think the difference with Marvel is, right, Marvel, even before it was on TV, even before it was movies and shows, comics have always had this like multiverse theory, right? Like it's always like, oh
Yeah.
shit. And it started with them going, oh shit, we need more stories for this character, but we've basically run out. So we're going to start over. We're going to have like a different version of him. And now we want to do a story where they all come together. How do we like make them all come together? So now we have this like multi-phasmal, like string theory bullshit, whatever. And that's always been a DC thing. It's always been a Marvel thing. I don't necessarily know if I want that for Star Wars, but I do want like give us something I want what's canon but has nothing to do with Skywalker. I'm done with Skywalker. Skywalker's over.
Yes.
Tell me the
Yes.
Thrawn story. Give me 3 movies on Thrawn in I don't remember what their space is called, but that's like so far removed from Skywalker. Tell me about that area that
Yeah.
has nothing to do with
Yeah.
it. It's still we can still say it's canon. We can still say it's part of the greater Star Wars. But Star Wars is supposed to take place in this giant fucking universe, and we keep coming back to Tatooine. Like I don't care.
Exactly. Like, and you're talking about a wild space in the unknown regions, right? He
Yes,
he
and
goes
the
off into the unknown
ascendancy. Yeah,
region.
yeah.
Yeah. And that was one of the benefits of Legends. The downside of Legends is it was very muddled, and especially when you go to like KOTOR and stuff,
Hmm.
incredibly unbalanced. Like I have not played the KOTOR games because I'm waiting for the remake that
Will never come
it's
out.
been. Yeah, I mean that was announced 5 years ago. The last update happened this calendar year, and they said it's still being made. But I did play a lot of the MMO SWTOR,
Yeah,
Star Wars: The Old Republic,
I played it at
which is
release.
set. Yeah, they keep adding stuff to it. They just added a new expansion lately. I haven't played it in a few years because the community is really really toxic. But basically, they took KOTOR, they ruined Revan's story, and they introduced all these crazy mega powerful people. So
Yeah,
it is I agree with Disney in scrapping it. All right, like even an Heir to the Empire, which I think is one of the most popular Legends
yes,
materials. Palpatine was way too broken, so I understand the rebalance. I did, the Acolyte, you know, put aside, the budget, the writing, whatever. I think most people would agree that Kamir was a cool character, like Jedi Master Soul, cool character. just the new era, the new seeing the Jedi Order when it actually mattered was cool. Like, give us more of that.
There
High
were some
Republic, also
so
sorry, yeah.
there was some interesting concepts in the Acolyte. I think it's hard because we see this with a lot of media, and we saw it with like The Last of Us Part Two, and we saw it with the Acolyte, where you have like very political divisions and people who are so with the Acolyte, it's like the lesbian witches, right? They're like, oh, the lesbian witches, this is
Mhm.
fucking woke Disney, like fuck them. And then the problem becomes that even though that's a very vocal minority, now if you say you didn't like Acolyte, you are part of that, right? People just kind of say, oh, you didn't like it because of this. I think there's great concepts there. I don't give a shit about the witches. They're fine. Like Night Sister kind of esque, super cool. But the writing on the entire show sucked. The writing was just terrible. It didn't pull me in at all. I wasn't interested
Yes.
in it at all. I sat through the entire thing. I was bored the entire time. Were there some interesting characters? Sure. Um, Quimir, like with his special dick power that turns people to his side, like fine, whatever. I don't care. Super hot dude. I'm there for it. Um, but I think that we got to the point where Disney was greenlighting so many projects, and they did this with Marvel too, where they stopped saying, "Oh, let's make sure this project is really, really quality," and like, "Oh, you have this idea, fine, just do it because it'll print money." And now they're realizing, "Oh no, people are getting tired of that low end dribble shit."
Yeah, and Andor season 2, thank God. Not only was it good, but it was, up there with it was not only I think the best Star Wars thing ever made, but it was I mean, it's an Emmy contender. Just like season 1 was. Like that was a genuine like that proved if you just pay writers, right? If you pay
Yeah,
writers, you pay cinematographer, you pay people who know how to make a movie or a show. That is what you need.
hundred
You don't,
percent.
Marvel has the same issue right now, and obviously, part of that's just Disney. Like, pay writers, screw the AI, just hire people who know how to make movies or TV shows. They don't need to be mega Star Wars fan. Like, some of the issues with Dave Filoni. Obviously, he's done a lot of good. He's also
Hmm.
now getting caught up in his own characters, right? That's his main criticism. He throws Ahsoka into everything, and all his, you know, there's the leaks. I don't know if it's true or not that Embo is going to be the main villain of the Mandalorian movie,
Interesting.
who was voiced by Dave Filoni. Like, why? Like, that doesn't make sense. Let filmmakers approach Star Wars. Don't let Star Wars people make movies. Like, we need new. Again, this is going back to what I said about Visions. They had all these like anime studios and animation studios who have probably seen Star Wars do their own take on it. That is what we need. We don't need one narrow vision because Star Wars is such a vast galaxy, right? They just made the new official canon map, which I think people found had a bunch of errors with it.
Of
There's
course.
so many planets, right? There's so many planets, and of course, the unknown space is half the map. Like, if that's not a setup for something, what's the point? Like, we've
That's
seen obviously Tatooine.
that's
Move
that's
on.
that's the that's the big thing, I think, is that even though Star Wars is supposed to be big, it does feel really small, right? Because it's always like, oh, how did
Yeah.
Ahsoka get involved in this also? How did Luke Skywalker get involved in this also? Why is he even here? I don't understand. How did these people get connected when they live a bajillion light years away and their stories are seemingly not supposed to be connected at all? But the problem also not on its own is that typically the non the super big Star Wars nerds are going to see it no matter what. And when you want to appeal to a general audience, there is that idea of we need a major character that people are going to resonate with. Um, and I think that as consumers, we do need to get out of that idea as well. And again, like myself, I'm going to see it regardless. But like the casual Star Wars consumer, the casual fan, they want like their big name involved, and it kind of sucks. It's like
Well,
this weird catch 22.
I don't fully agree with that. And I have one movie that comes to mind. Guardians of the
Okay.
Galaxy.
Yep.
You know, D tier Marvel heroes. And obviously it's a space vibe similar to Star Wars,
Yeah.
right? I mean, there were probably so few people who knew what Guardians of the Galaxy is beforehand, right? But then, you see the trailers, you go see the movie, you hear people, oh my god, this movie is so good. Go see it, right? I mean, that's how Star Wars kind of started, right? Like,
Yeah.
so I don't I think, especially like Marvel and stuff, if like good writing and good characters does beat out like Sinners, for example, from this year. Obviously, that's
Amazing. Great movie.
it's a li- and the director is a big name because he made the Black Panther movies. But like that was a movie that it didn't need to make that much money. Like
Hmm.
it did because it earned it because it was a good movie first, and it was a powerful movie. It was you know writing was amazing. And I'm also glad Andor season 2 is getting good viewership numbers because before that came out, I remember everyone's like, "Why the hell is this guy getting a movie?" He was a secondary character in a movie where everyone, spoiler alert, dies at the end. Like, who cares? But they turned it into the best thing Star Wars has ever done. Like, I think what you said, like that is a common thing, but word of mouth beats that. Like good good movies, good writing, good dialogue, good acting will beat out on like the man's like let's look at Marvel, right? Ant-Man Quantumania, right? And
Okay. Terrible. Hated it. I fell
terrible.
asleep.
And it bombed.
Yes.
Even though it was Marvel, even though the first two Ant-Man movies were pretty good, they were
Yeah.
enjoyable. He was, in Endgame, which was like one of the biggest movies of all time. And that's hurting Marvel to this day, right? Like Thunderbolts
I
this
loved
year
it.
was awesome,
Well, I think that
but
that was part of the thing with like where we're talking about the quality shift, right? With Marvel, and they
yeah,
started just greenlighting everything. And now
yeah,
I don't remember who made the statement, but I did see a statement recently that was kind of like, all right, we need to stop just greenlighting things and actually get back to what we used to do with like Iron Man, with the first two Captain Americas. The second Captain America, Winter Soldier, was one of the
awesome.
best movies in the MCU and just was a solid
Yeah,
spy thriller. Um, Guardians of the Galaxy, I do think is a really great example because when it first came out, you're right. I was not a comic book. I was not someone that watches or reads comic
yeah,
books. I saw it on screen. I was like, who the fuck are these guys? Like, this is going to bomb.
exactly.
But part of the reason I gave it a chance is because of the consistency of the MCU at the time was so solid that I had a really big trust in them. Now, not so much. Now it's kind of like, well, if it's okay, I'll go see it. If it's not, I'm not going to bother because I have been burned by the Eternals. I have been burned by Quantum Mania. I've been burned by the Marvels, which sucked because Captain Marvel 1 was great because the TV show with
Hmm.
I forgot her superhero name, but like that was
WandaVision, yeah, with
no,
Photon.
the Marvels TV show
Oh,
with the girl, the teenager,
oh, Miss Marvel, Miss
Miss
Marvel.
Marvel. That was
Yeah,
great. So I went to go see the Marvels the movie, and I was like, this is awful. Like this is shit, and the quality shift has changed. What was I think really solid about Andor is that they did take characters that people knew, but not major characters. They took characters
yeah,
that people can say, okay, I recognize this person, and they put them into a story that was relevant to the Skywalker story, but it was also so outside it. For both seasons
hmm
of Andor, we're building up to this whole Death Star thing, but the whole story itself has nothing to do with that. We're not getting weird cameos by Han Solo or Chewbacca. We're not getting like
exactly.
R2D2 in the background. We're getting an entirely separate story that just happens to end with the start of a really important story within Star Wars, which I think
Yeah,
was really cool to do.
yeah, and even like Krennic. I mean, Mon Mothma was a protagonist, like,
Yeah.
but she had no development obviously in the movies, and
Mhm.
Krennic, it was a cameo, but it was a cameo done right. And yeah, otherwise there were these characters who, because right after I finished season two, I went to watch Rogue One. I'm like, oh, Melchi's in the movie. Like
Mhm.
they say his name once, and now he does all this cool stuff. But I think one thing I've said, I don't think I've said on my streams or anything, but I think the most important thing about any movie or any show or any piece of media is it's the human relationships, and it's the characters, right? Like Star Wars, the original movie, right? Obviously it was this grand adventure, cutting special effects, but it's because you care about the story. Like Andor, I think, is the perfect modern version of that, right? It's a show about complete nobodies, fighting oppression. Obviously, yes, there's real world parallels and all that, but it's the heart of the story that matters. Like
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
resonate. The reason why the main character was an alien is because we don't resonate with that as much. Like
Yes.
we resonate with the human characters in everything. And again, it all comes back to the writing. Like Disney as a company, right? There's a big shift in writing quality from Avengers Endgame in 2019 to, I think, like the first COVID thing was like Book of Boba Fett,
Yeah.
right? Like
Oh god.
massive, massive drop in quality. I mean, I'd venture to guess they're using like some degree of AI in script writing, whatever, but they forgot what makes the story mean. Like Endgame, right? It is not as good a movie objectively as Infinity War, but it is, you know, it's the culmination of 10 years of storytelling that has never happened before. Like there was
Yeah.
no movie ever like Avengers Endgame.
Yes.
There were certainly, obviously, every movie with time travel has issues, but um we cared about the characters so much, and that's all that mattered. Like we just wanted to see them in this big showdown.
It
And
it
they did that.
is it is with Endgame, like you said, when starting with Iron Man, like we had this because when it comes to the MCU, you have your comic book fans, and as much as comic book fans want to think they're the majority, comic readership is very small comparative to
Yeah.
movie sales. Um, they started it with Iron Man. They built up tons of new fans. Um, Endgame is a fan service movie, and that's
Yeah.
fine because they made us build on this for 10 years. Where if you did not see that in theaters opening weekend, you fucked up. Because that's what made it special
Mhm.
is everyone standing up and cheering, right? And like people like
Yes.
yelling and as much as that's annoying in a lot of movies, when you've built up this like you took a 2 liter can thing of soda and you shook it for 10 years and you explode that, you want there to be that excitement. And that is part of that movie experience where you're just like, what the fuck? This is awesome. And when it comes to time travel, listen, I'm there to see a movie. Not
Yeah.
everything has to make perfect sense.
No,
Now,
I agree.
I want it to make some sense. So if something just does not make sense at all, I'm like, this is dumb. But when it comes to a world where there are aliens coming out of portals and there are superheroes flying around and there are stones that can give you unlimited powers, I don't give a shit how time travel works. As long
True.
as it works consistently the same way. You set up whatever fucking rule you want. As long as that rule is in play, I'm happy.
Yeah. And got a comment in your YouTube chat from Adiz. I agree. When the portal scene in Endgame, right, and then it ends with Captain America saying "Avengers Assemble," I don't think there's ever been a more hype movie moment, just
Yes.
ever.
It's
And I think it'll be so hard to ever beat that.
oh, of course, because now we kind of I think every franchise tries now to capture that. Right? It's almost
Yes.
like when Harry Potter did the 7th movie in 2 parts and then every single young adult movie adaptation was like, "Oh, we can do that?
Oh.
We didn't know that that was a rule that we could break." And then you had Twilight do it, and then you had the Hunger Games do it, and then you had um, the
The
Lord of the
Virgin, I
Rings
think,
when you
did
did the Hobbit, and you're like, oh, we can
The
turn
Hobbit.
one 200-page book into 3 movies. Um,
Yeah.
it just became a thing, and now everyone's trying to do that, and the DCU keeps trying, and they just keep falling flat on being able to get things to work.
Superman was good. Superman
Superman
was
was
good.
fun. I didn't hate it. I thought it was fun. It was a fun movie. I didn't like the last adaptation. It was too dark. It's not Superman. Superman's supposed to be uplifting and fun and exciting and campy. So I enjoyed the new one.
Oh yeah, I mean Snyder fans are a very black
They're
and white bunch, but
they're a fervent bunch. Yes.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, seeing Batman kill people, that's just not Batman. Seeing
Yeah.
Superman be dark and broody, sometimes. I mean, the whole Superman evil trend has been kind of started with Injustice, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that phase is ending.
But you know
Um,
what? Like Injustice was a cool game, and it was a cool
it's
story
a
for a
very cool
video
game.
game.
Yeah.
And there was a movie like 3 or 4 years ago. I forgot it was called. It wasn't Superman, but it was technically the Superman story, but kind of like what if Superman man went bad.
Oh, you're
Um,
talking about James Gunn's horror movie,
y-
Brightburn,
yes,
right?
yeah, yeah. It was pretty good. I don't. I'm fine with that story, but don't tell me, hey, this is Superman. We're seeing Superman,
Yeah.
and this is the DCU. And it's like I watched the first one, Man of Steel, and I was like, this is just a generic alien movie. This is a
Hmm.
sci-fi generic movie that you just kind of threw Superman into. Like it's not
Yeah.
interesting to me. All right.
Yeah.
I said we were going to do a review before, and here
Yeah.
we
Sorry.
are a half hour later. Um, Ani, I saw your whiskey thing on Twitch. That was my last drowning of coffee just before. I didn't want to interrupt David while we were talking movies. Um, let's head into a review, and then we'll ignore them for a little while and continue talking. So let's see. Let's get the game down. Let's go to
And,
.gg.
and yeah, just to plug myself, if anyone ever wants to have these discussions, I mean, come to my Twitch. I'll post a link periodically in chat. I don't compete with Egnards because I do it at night.
I don't care who competes with me. I don't give a shit. I do this for fun. It is nice when you
Yeah.
make a couple bucks and can buy a beer, but
Yeah.
it's for fun.
And
Um, th-
obviously, like to see you again in the future. Or
I'm
talk to you
always
again.
I'm always down, man. And like I said, my time is limited, but I am always down to like chat with people and have fun. I'm a little slut like that. All right. So we got Silky here.
All right,
We'll
let's see.
do like a rundown. I don't need to read everything. Top 20 of your fleet, 50-50 skewed to Leviathan. Are you coordinating? No, only get top 10 usually. I don't know what your feeling is, David, but I think like reach out to your fleet shard, talk to them, like make it
Yes.
easy on
Yes.
yourself. Get rid of this
Like there's
shard
a big
mafia
difference.
shit.
Yeah, there's a big difference between number 10 in Fleet Arena and number 1, right? It's a
200
200
crystals a
versus
day.
200, 400.
Yep,
Like
200 extra crystals a day. That's what,
so
1,400 a
yeah.
week. That is two, three. I'm not doing the math right now. It's like 6,000 or so crystals a month. It's a huge
Yeah,
deal.
and it adds up. Like so yeah, just my and I just want to say for people in chat, like I only get top 10 usually. Like you really do, if you can help it, get number 1 every day. Um
Yes, and
it is always important.
I don't actually even get number
Yeah.
one each day. Like, if I'm at two, I don't
Top
give a shit.
3 or so.
As long
Yeah.
as I'm in the top three, I literally don't care. And I know that over time, those 25 crystals do add up, but there's a difference between leaving 25 crystals on the table and leaving 200 crystals on the table.
Yeah. So
Um,
so yeah, one criticism, but yeah, always fleet is so important. It's
super
a boring
important.
game mode. Meta has been stale for what, 2 years at this point, but
Yep.
always go for it.
Assault battles. Rebel roundup is at CT1. That tells me no Jabba. Forest Moon CT3. Places of Power CT3. Military Might CT2. Ground War CT3. It's interesting to have Military Might at 2 and Ground War at 3. Seers and Shadows for Fanatical Devotion. Both at 1, but it doesn't say CT1, so I don't think we haven't really done anything with those. Nothing on
Probably
Duel of the
first
Fates.
tier, yeah.
Nothing on Peridia Patrol. What are you currently working on? Jabba to R7, 8, 9 raid teams, mainly to make worth unlocking day 1. I don't know what that means. Bring up
I think what they're saying
QA.
is just bring up like raid teams to high
So just
relics,
random.
like now, yeah, just
Oh,
to
oh,
I guess
raid.
get the
Okay,
most
yeah, yeah.
value out of it.
I got it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm
Bring
just
up.
stupid. This is why I need people on here with me. Bring up QA and Ponchos to Leviathan. Also need Jedi Knight, Cal Kestis, and Bo for Guild. Are you dead set on continuing? At least Jabba. Also thinking about getting a pirate team using Moz lead because the kits look interesting. How highly do you value efficiency? After efficiency now, are there any characters you want to prioritize, even though you know it's probably not smart? Shards for important proving ground characters, 300 of 330 for QA. 268 for Luthen, 100 for Ezra, and 190 for DS Ray. Now, David, with only that information, do you want to take a guess as to their GP?
Ooh. Um. I certainly have comments to make just based on what they've written, but I don't. I'd guess probably like 5 to 6 million.
Okay, so I was gonna
Um.
say 7. I click on them; they're all there. I don't look. I'm gonna say 7.
Mhm.
We have
Yeah.
it
The
here.
reason I say
Go ahead.
that is I really think like so in the what are you currently working online?
Yeah,
I my main criticism is JKC and Bo should not be that low priority.
yeah,
Because like I think 9 million. Because I
yeah. There's a lot
you
going
know
on here now.
because when you're in a guild, right? These are things you do for the guild for everyone, right? Your one win gets 50 shards.
Yes,
Like that it is a matter of personal roster growth versus helping your guild. And I think once you get to a certain point, it is kind of selfish to not have those teams.
yes,
So I really do think it is important to get those earlier. Like raid should be number one priority for anyone right now.
hmm
But after that, like I think you should go for those tunes because it's just it's part of being in a guild, right? That's one of the and they're pretty good tunes. But that's part of being in a guild, helping your guild out on those missions. Like in my
100.
alliance, even we have. I mean, my guild is 660 mil, but our lowest guild's around 500 now. They won't take someone if you don't have JKC at the minimum. Like you just got to get it.
I expect that to be much earlier. I am surprised that this is a 9 million account. I do agree. Like we don't
Yeah.
force farms on people or specific farms, but there is an expectation that you are part of a guild and you are going to do the things that are helpful to the guild. Um, and it seems like we're kind of missing out on a lot of that. So let's check this out. We have 4GLs. I do want to see raid history. They're doing about 3.3 million in the raid. They're in a 546 guild. The guild is doing 100 in the raid. So they need about an average of 2 million. So they're already 50% roughly above the average that they need for their guild. Um,
It's a pretty
I
low raid crate for the guilds for a
for
guild of
it
that GP,
is
honestly.
for a
Um,
546. I do think I don't know. Let me see what the exact tiers are because I know they switched the
I think it's
numbers
like a
up.
147, right?
I'm looking at
Or
it
am I
in
making that up?
game. 147. Then it's a roughly
Oh, it
double
is.
jump.
Okay.
So their
Yeah.
goal is probably to get to that 147, maybe 245 as a stretch goal, especially if you start asking people to go for the clone split. Um, but it does mean that he's above his guild average and does not need to currently put in too much raid priority
Yeah, I
until
would
his guild
honestly
catches
say,
up.
yeah, if 147 is your guild's goal, you're done.
Yeah,
Like just
you don't need to do much
like
more.
yeah, like I tell some people in lower guilds in my alliance who they're going for like one of them's going for the 245 crate. So
Yeah.
it's an average 5 mil per person. They're like, I'm gonna go to 8 mil. And I say, why? Like, especially, if you're not at the end game where the only you have every character unlocked, or maybe
hmm
just don't have mace, you have no choice what to farm. But, at any lower point below, like 13 something million GP,
Yeah.
there's always a bunch of stuff to farm. And, if you hit your guild's goal for any content, just move on to the next thing.
Do
Like, I
something
think, I
else.
think him going for Java, I was talking to someone on my stream last week about they were making a case for why Java was a good first GL because
hmm
of the smugglers run. Like definitely get Smuggler's Run. That is such a
Yes.
massive game changer for mod farming. So I agree with
The
that being first in the farm priority.
the only thing I would say here, which is kind of interesting, like if I look at the raid, like he has Jedi Master Mace window at
Oh, you have
9.
Mace.
Like
Wow.
it's an interesting account because Mace is at 9, Temple Guard is at 5, Depa is at 8. So we're all over the place in terms of like where our raid is. We have all of the
Wow. Okay.
clones. The clones are at 7, but Oppo is at 9. Scorch is at 7. I feel like the only thing that I would maybe do, where's Tarkin? Tarkin's at 7. I feel like my only raid suggestion would be bring Tarkin and Scorch to 9. And then you're getting a much better personal box. You never have to worry about the raid again because you'll get 3.6 from that. You'll get 1.2 from your Mace Windu squad since Temple Guard is still 5. So you're getting 4.8. And then you have your pirates who are going to eventually be doing 900 to about 1 point whatever. You can probably hit like a 6 million score here, and you'll be so far above what your guild is ever going to need, and you can knock that out super quick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely bring Temple Guard to Relic 7. That's 600k right there.
Yeah,
And
you
yeah,
could
you
do
could
that.
either
These are small
R9
projects.
the Mace Trio, or yeah,
And they
Tarkin Scorch. Yeah,
they don't even need to be done right away because you're already past your average, so you can make this a secondary goal and say, okay, as the guild hits 147, if they want to go for the 240 whatever, the 247 box, I have the opportunity to make this jump very, very quickly.
or since you have Kelleran back at 4 stars, just get his
Well, and that's
shards, and then that's a whole nother team to do.
and that's BKM, right there. Like
Yep.
that's doing that. I want to see. So we're doing. How is he? Oh, he must. Oh, because he has Jedi Knight Luke. That's how he's doing that. I want to look at Rebel Roundup. Not Rebel
Only like
Roundup.
year
Military
7
Might.
Quiggled. Come on.
Get that tumor-ridden piece of shit up there.
Though honestly, he makes a big difference in the raid. I tried pirates at the R3 tier with and without
Yeah.
him, night and day. I mean, he actually is very important for that team.
Mine, I can do it. I do it right now because my Quiggled I didn't invest in at all. He's 3 stars.
How dare you?
I do it with Athano, Smee, Hondo, and then I just throw in Enfys and Sana just for the offense boost from the unique. And I do it fairly easily. And I did it without Sana as well as a 4-man. It really isn't. To me, it wasn't that hard. It'd take a couple of restarts, but nothing too egregious.
Okay. Wait for this guy. What's his CLS team at?
So
I
3,
use CLS to beat.
Chewbacca 3, C3PO 3. Chupio is G12. Where is Han? Am I just stupid?
Wait,
Oh,
does he
there
not
he
have
is.
Han?
Han is 8. Han is
Okay.
8. Okay.
Okay.
This is just a modding issue because he can do military might. Even with
maybe Relic your GPO, but
well, you should, but he doesn't like it. If you just want military might, you don't need it. You just need to remod for the event.
Yeah.
He
mods and a few tries.
Yeah, I mean, with Chupio not relic, you might have a couple of restarts, but the main proponent is get these guys as fast as should be relatively easy. This is something that like I would see going into Vance's account, logging into his account and going, I could get this done right now. Which I've done before. I've gotten like 4 of his challenge tiers to CT3 just by logging in and saying, oh, let me move some mods and do it. Jabba, I want to see how close he is. Gear tracker. Jabba, where is he? There he is, that fat fuck. Jabba's pretty close. It looks like it's just some relic material. So this is a nice and Aura Singh shards. I think she's a Cantina farm, right? So that I mean, she's
Maybe, yeah.
accelerated. It's not the worst or the hardest thing in the world.
Yeah,
Um,
so you're almost there.
we have Executor. Profundity, we're very close. We just don't have Mon Mothma. Leviathan, we're a little far out from. Let's see, Malgus, and Malgus is at 7. Ships, we have Fury class. Fury class, we have. Okay. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. Let's take a look at that real quick. Jedi Knight, where the fuck is he? Can't read. There he is. Marin. See, Marin would also get him to CT1 without even
Yes,
much
yeah,
investment. And I really think that it's important to get to CT1. You don't have to go very hard
I agree.
into it, but the CT1 is
Yeah.
important. And then
I
Bo
mean, that's the other
Katan.
nice thing about some of these more recent legendaries. I mean, especially like the two, JKC and Bo, right? They bring entire other teams online.
Yeah.
I mean, the Saw team, Saw is always good in Grand Arena. Marin's team, great for the challenge tier. Obviously, like can beat Jabba sometimes. I mean, Keller and Beck squad,
Yes.
and obviously Bo comes with 3 of the members of her team, which is really nice. So
Yes.
like,
And it's a great team. I still use I know you can't really use it against Lord Vader anymore, but I still use it in
yeah,
GAC just fine.
yeah. Uh,
Here's what I think
I
I
got a
would
comment,
do.
and yeah, no, you got an interesting comment in Twitch chat from Animush that this person has to have taken a break and come back. I
It's
think I agree
possible.
with that.
It's
Yeah.
definitely possible, but we don't want to give Ani any credit. It gets to his head. So
Okay.
I thought that up. Um, my thought process here, and you can interject if you want, and he can of course take Silky can take whatever advice. I would say right now stall on raid prep. Don't worry about it so much right now. That can be a secondary objective for when your guild hits the 147 box and when they say, oh, we want to go for the next one. Jabba is the main priority right now. Get that done. You're pretty close. You really just have Aura Sing to kind of get shard farming wise done. While doing that, I would personally start slow farming Mon Mothma, and I would start slow farming either for Bo-Katan or for Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. My preference would be for Bo-Katan because, as you pointed out, Keller and Beck can be used in the raid. He is pretty useful in the raid. He'll be an extra R7 that you need for Bo-Katan anyway, so go for Bo-Katan as your slow farm first. As Jabba starts to finish up, start putting some priority into that Bo-Katan farm. The reason that I think that you should move towards Mon Mothma is that I do think that the best time to farm a capital ship is when you don't need the capital ship, because then you don't have to star it up. You can leave Profundity at 4 stars if you don't want to invest in it, and you can just keep collecting those free shards, and it will be useful. It's not going to be amazing at 4 stars, but you can build it up on the free until it becomes useful to you, and then you can get whatever. And you're so close at 340 carbonate circuit boards. You literally, it's just Mon Mothma and a few other relic levels. As you start to finish up Profundity, I do think that Leviathan would be a smart move because fleets just make they make accounts. With all of that said, if your guild does decide, hey, we want to go towards the next box in the raid, that is when you go back to the raid teams that you have available to you, and you are very, very, very close on, where is the raid thing here, on increasing your score considerably just with a few relic levels. Temple Guard to R7 will give you 600,000 more for your Jedi Master Mace Windu squad. Tarkin and Scorch to R9 alone will turn a 1.8 million squad into a 3.6 million squad. If you do the whole clone team, you get 7.2 million, but it's really not necessary. Any additional thoughts or contradictions?
I think you hit the nail on the head there, honestly. I think that's all what you should
There we
do.
go.
Yeah.
This is why I need people on my streams that say, no, he actually he knows what he's talking about. He's actually he's smart. So there we go, Silky. You heard it. It wasn't just me saying that. There's other people as well. Um, there is one more of them that I want to make sure that we get to definitely today. So I want to do that
Okay, yeah,
now, and then we can jump into a conversation as my time starts to run shorter and I have to wake
sure.
my wife up. I want to skip to Darthbrooks, who who is ahead of the line on a few of these people. But I want to skip because this person knows the way to my heart and sent me quite a few beers yesterday. And it puts extra pressure on me. I don't like when people send me beers ahead of time because then I feel like I have to perform like a dancing monkey. But I also, with us not having brunch next week, I want to make sure that this person gets ahead of DTKKM because fuck that guy. Exactly, Daniel, who is DTKKM. So fuck you, man. So we're going to make sure we definitely get this one in. We'll do it right now, and then we can chat. And if we can get one more in after that, then that would be
Okay.
solid. Okay, so 121. No, not for DTK. For Darthbrooks. So it's 121.00. Where is it? Here it is. Top 20 of your fleet arena looks like 2/3 Leviathan, 1/3 Executor. No, not coordinating, generally in the top 10. Sometimes sneaking to top 5 or the first, other times sliding to 11 to 20, really based upon my availability. So it seems like he can get to top 1, but his fleet time just isn't great.
I mean, you can always change
change
your
it.
payout time if it's not a good time. Yeah.
I did it, and it's worth it. Generally max on old ones, Night Trooper and clone teams at R7. Speaking of that, AF1, I know you asked before about what I do for refreshes for the Dead Boys. I only refresh the top tier once. I know a lot of people refresh it twice, but I like hoarding my crystals. Night
Same.
Trooper clone teams at R7, starting to relic Padawan Obi-Wan team with Master Qui-Gon. It actually hurts me to have the Night Trooper team at R7 and not the Padawan Obi-Wan team. Lost in the woods right now, contemplating moving the Dark Side clones to all R9, followed by the Lover Boys and Queen to R7. No interest in the Pirates at all. I know they will have value, and I will slow roll getting them, but will not make a big push. Outside of moving the clones to R9, I am pretty open with them. I could be persuaded to change my focus. Looking for more efficiencies at the stage outside of pursuing pirates. I feel a bit like a paper tiger in that I had never had an issue with Zetas until the Lightspeed bundles came along. Once I grabbed most of them, it really has left me in a spot where I have to have hyper vigilant. I have to be hyper vigilant with my resources. Currently have enough mats to apply around 10 Zetas and 6 Omicrons. The biggest hole in my game is mods. Not interested in pirates. Okay. So before I click it, just in case you wanted to know, he's not interested in pirates at all. No interest. Any guess to our GP?
This is a hard one. So, because in the fleet arena, he didn't say what capital ship he uses.
Yes, we don't know that,
The
but we do
clone
know the
stuff, yeah,
majority of his fleet is
yeah.
2/3 Leviathan.
Having R7 clones and wanting to get the clones to R9 has me feel like it's probably similar GP to the last guy.
Okay, so
Um,
around 9 million.
yeah, especially if he's considering 5 R9s.
I
But you are missing
think
some stuff.
I
Yeah.
think this is going to be one of the accounts that I really hate. And that is to say that it is someone that is way above the level where they should have Padawan Obi-Wan and Master Qui-Gon at R9. And it hurts me every time I see an
Yeah.
account like that. So I'm actually, I agree with why you're saying around 9 million. I think it's probably going to be somewhere around 11 million, and it's going to hurt my
It is
soul.
I hope it's a 9 million account.
Let's see.
But no,
Darth.
it probably is going to be 10 mil plus.
Oh, look at this. 11 point. No, oh my God, this hurts me so bad. 12 million and no R9 Master Qui-Gon or Padawan Obi-Wan. That it actually hurts my soul
What
when I
were you
see one
doing
of
off
these.
Naboo, bro?
Like
Can you
that's
go to
it.
raid
It
history
hurts.
first, please?
Yeah. So he's
Uh,
doing about 3 million in the raid.
what did he do in
3.2.
Naboo?
Naboo. Oh my god, he was doing 2.5. But now I don't know what his guild is. So his guild is, let's see,
Yeah.
they're 548. So it seems they're roughly the same as the other guilds, the other guys. So like Battle for Naboo, they were doing 130. So he was maybe right around average, slightly below average. So about
I
where he
mean,
should have been for his guild.
okay. I mean, I'm always of my honestly raid like for a guild of this GP, you're leaving money on the table here.
Yes.
Like I not to hate on these guilds, but like sometimes guilds need to pick up the slack and push for higher raid crates because when you have 500 mil plus, I mean, I feel like for any guild that's 500 mil or more, the 245 million crate should be your absolute minimum.
And fairly easily too, with really
Yeah.
without too much investment involved.
You you don't even need the clones, you don't need mace.
Yeah.
R8 back. This is what I told the rest of my alliance.
Mhm.
R8 back, right? You can do three to four tunes. R7 Bad Batch, and then some random bullshit for the other three. That's 5 mil per person right there.
Well, it's
Like,
what I said right when the raid started, right, with the Keller and Beck team at R7. Only R7 just because it was the beginning and
sure,
everyone
yeah,
has Keller and Beck at R7. That's 1.8. And then if you get 300,000 with every other team, or 1 point, yeah, 1.8. If you get 300,000 with every other team, that's 1.8 to 2.1 to 2.4 to 2 point. That's 3 million with almost no investment at
exactly,
all. At
exactly.
all. Um, so it does hurt to see, but he is overperforming his guild in this current raid.
Fair
Which
enough.
and it doesn't look like his guild is going to push this raid too considerably. Um, so that is something to think about. Has all of the GL 8 of the GL? Who are we missing?
So also, one of the things he wrote, like he might push clones to R9.
Yeah,
If you're gonna stay in this guild, don't.
there's no
There's no
reason.
need. You're
There's
also
there.
not making the relic mats to warrant that. Like, if you want to switch guilds and go for a 245 or 375 mil crate, yes. Otherwise, don't touch the raid anymore.
Yeah, there. It doesn't seem like you really need to do too much of the raid. Who am I missing here?
I
Ahsoka,
this
Ray,
happens to me.
C, JMK, Jabba, Lord Vader,
Leia,
Leia. No, wow, no Leia. Interesting.
the best offensive GL.
Interesting. All right, let's see where Order 66 is. So he has the Keller and Beck. He has Keller and Beck at R8, but it doesn't look like most of the team is at R8. He has the Tarkin team he's doing at R7. Is Kellerin. He has Plo, both R8, but no Jocasta. Um, okay. I want to see Battle for Naboo just so we can easily check out the boys. Master Qui-Gon, Padawan Obi-Wan. All right. Let's see where he is with his actual tools. So has Leviathan. I don't know if it's 5 stars or not, but does have Leviathan. Does not have Profundity yet. But so close. Just so very close.
Yeah, that would be a good pickup.
Leia's, I mean, not
I mean, I
super
guess
far away, but like further than I expected.
yeah. One thing I'd say to this guy is, what is your goal for the game right now? Like, you're lacking some big stuff.
Some fundamental.
Your rates are like, are you, a casual player? Do you want something more competitive? You want something in the middle? Like, because if you're cool at the level where you're at, just round out some teams. If you want to push for further, you gotta round out some raid teams, fill out your roster, get Leia. Um, I mean, it seems like definitely like get profundity. Um,
Yeah. And
listen,
Cal.
Leia's a big, yeah, yeah.
Look at this Cal. Like
It's like
he
we're
just it seems like he's farming it because everything else is at relics or G12. It's just Tarful is at 6 stars.
yeah.
So
So
it
like,
seems like a
if you're
goal.
not farming it, get him. Um, and yeah, like,
Uh,
I mean, Leia's a big hole in the roster. Like, if any GL was to be last, it should not be Leia.
yeah. Now, one thing I'm going to suggest because he said time wise, he gets to like top 10, maybe has time to do his fleet shard, maybe doesn't have time to do his fleet shard. He has a 7-star Leviathan. If you are not already aware of how to auto that battle, look into how to auto that battle because
Yeah.
I also don't have
Super
a lot of
easy.
time around my fleet reset. It's usually about an hour or two after I leave or before I leave. No, after I leave work. And what I will generally do is on my way home from work, I'll get into my car, I'll start the battle, hit auto, and then drive. And then I get home
Yep.
and I'll do my second battle before I get out of my car. I'll hit auto, walk into the house, say hi to my wife, and do it. So I don't have to spend all this time.
Me too.
Is it's just like this super quick, super easy like thing where I don't even have to think about it. And it's like a 50-50 on the auto. If you go first, you just
Yeah.
hit auto. If you go second, you have to get to
Do the
first
first two.
reinforcement,
Yeah.
call the Scimitar, right? And then you just hit auto. It takes about a minute.
Yeah.
Really
What I
consider
do,
that.
yeah, I auto until the first Leviathan turn. Make sure he uses the sabotage the engines. I think it's called, right? And then I auto to the second Leviathan turn. Call in Scimitar. Full auto. Don't look.
Yeah.
Like,
And if you go first, you
that's
just
it.
hit auto in the beginning and you win.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, I will say you can't do that in GAC. I learned that the hard way because people who
Really.
put it on defense do it with one reinforcement, and the one reinforcement is the Scimitar. And so if you hit auto from the beginning, because I lost the GAC literally because of this, you will get turn meter lapped once they call their first reinforcement. But nobody does that in Fleet Arena. They only do that in GAC to kind of catch
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. I guess I have seen that in TW sometimes as well
Yes. So
against
it's kind of
better
the
guild.
same thing. And it's easy to counter because you just have to call yours first too.
Yeah.
But it's just something you can't auto from the beginning. And I would consider looking into that if you are not already aware of that because it might make it more likely that you're hitting one. Again, I think it's very similar advice to what I would say for Silky, for Darthbrooks is go for profundity because you're just that close and you don't need it right now. So the sooner that you have it, the sooner you can just let it get free shards. I would definitely work towards Cal Kestis, who you already are there for. You just need to get Tarful up. And then you'll have a lifter for your JML squad. You'll have a nice split sometimes with threes, where you now are doing like Jedi Knight Luke with Jedi Knight Cal for like a Malgus team, who we don't really even see on defense that much anymore. And then I think I would strong pivot towards Leia. Even starting the slow farm. And slow farm, for those not aware, is just doing 5 battles a day. But starting the slow farm on Drogon now, so that you don't even have to think about refreshes at all. Because that'll round out the roster completely. It'll take maybe 3 or 4 months as a total. And you can kind of see what your guild wants to do when it comes to Order 66. The only short-term priority that I would say is get your fucking Master Qui-Gon and your Padawan Obi-Wan to R9 as soon as possible. Like, that is... You're at 12 million. This should have been done a year ago. It is one of the highest return on investment events in this game, especially when you are starting to consider R9ing things for raids, for guilds, for this, for that. Beyond that, I don't, like you had said before, David, I don't know his level of casual versus not casual, but it seems as someone who's bought Lightspeed bundles, as someone who has sent beers to me for roster guidance, that they're looking to take the game slightly more seriously and that their guild is not matching the output that they maybe
Yeah.
want going forward. And to consider saying, hey, maybe I need something else from this game in order to keep going. And in which case,
Yeah.
if we talk about further raid development, which right now is not necessary, but just by R9ing your clones, most
You're there.
higher
Yeah.
end guilds will let you in.
Yeah. And like, this is something I've thought about a lot. Like people I think need to be a little more comfortable with moving to higher level of competitiveness guilds. Not
Yeah.
necessarily higher GP, but just more serious guilds. Depending on what you want, right? I think sometimes people forget this is a game,
Hmm.
which is right. Like some people take this. Obviously, some people take this too seriously, right? At the very high end, they're cheating in territory wars, right? Like some people take this way too seriously. However, you know, if you're not in a guild with like your best friends in real life, it's okay to move guilds. Like it happens.
Yes.
Um, I like I'm a firm believer. This is my philosophy as a guild leader, an alliance leader. Like, we're in a sense we're kind of providing a service to our guildies, right? Like we're giving them direction. Guilds are not a democracy, right? It's usually people, the officers, telling their guildies what to do to an extent, and guildies choosing. If they agree with it, they stay. If they don't, they leave. Right?
Yeah.
Like if your guilds are not getting your rewards, if you just don't like your guild, right? If it's toxic, if it's too quiet, if you're too competitive, not competitive enough, just find another one. If you're happy, of course, stay.
It's actually the reason why, and I don't really need to do this anymore just because I have an audience and it makes recruiting a lot easier. But in the past, when it came to like poaching people, and I'll tell you right now that I used to poach people all the time, and I would send out a polite message that said, hey, this is what my guild can offer you. Hit me up on Discord if you're interested. That's it. And if they ignored me, never contacted them again. If they said no, thank you, I said, great, good luck, best of luck with your guild. Awesome. Like, I'm not going to harass you. But my thought process was the only people who are going to entertain my offer are people who are unhappy with their guild and who just never
Exactly.
consider that there are other options. And that's what happens is people go, oh, other guilds do want me and I don't have to stay here. Yeah, sure, I want that thing. Your friends will be your friends whether you're in their guild or not. And if they are mad at you um, because you leave their guild, then what was your relationship? Like if people leave my guild,
Yeah.
if people say, hey, I had my TW officer leave 6 months ago. He was like, I really want a more TW active guild. I want to be in a TW competitive guild. I'm not going to get mad at him. I still talk to him. He still stops in on the streams. I still chat with him. He's still my friend. I'm happy for him. Great. I want you to be in the guild that fits the thing that you want to do in this game because you are
Yeah.
more than just a player in my guild. You're somebody that I communicate with and talk to, and I want you to be happy.
I completely agree. I also this is something we could certainly talk about, but I always TW officers have had a high turnover rate for me. I actually just had at the beginning of this week, at the end of last TB, I had my offense. We have three TW officers. My offense officer left, and my defense officer is about to retire. So I did actually. I don't know if you saw this. There's a post on it was the Swuggo underscore guild subreddit for
Okay.
recruiting, and someone posted basically a poaching tool. It was like some kind of metric, like a 0 to 100%, the likelihood of
I actually did see
someone would
that.
leave their guild.
I actually
Yeah,
did see
I
that.
I
Yeah.
tried it. No one responded. However, like there's major flaws in their algorithm. Like one doesn't count for people who just drop down to a lower guild, right? Because they want to
Yeah.
semi-retire. And like for example, it said I had an 100% chance of being poached by a guild that was 5 mil GP lower than my own guild that I've founded. So obviously math wrong there, but yeah, I've never poached. Well, that was my only time I poached this week, but I agree. Like I, as a guild leader, I try to do whatever I'm very open to my guildies of like, hey, we want to push a little further. Hey, can you let up a little here? Like, first of all, if your leaders aren't very responsive to that stuff,
Yeah.
maybe they're not the best leaders. Like I try to accommodate as many of my guildies as possible within reason, right? Like, got to appeal the higher end, got to not kick out everyone the lower end, but there's sacrifices, right? Like, we're pushing for max crate. We should. I think we're on track to hit it this rate. Um, if people are below like 5-6 million score at this point for our point in the game where we've already been farming this for 4 months, like, that's on you.
Yes.
And if you
I have like 10 people in my guild who are hitting like 3 million score. And
and it's like,
I,
what are you doing?
I have said to them, and we've said this in our raid guidance, like, hey, we're ahead of goal, so we're not booting you. Like, we're not going to, as long as we see consistent growth, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, if we see you saying, oh, we hit our goal, like we don't need to do anything, then your problem, because we still have another goal that we're looking towards. Just because we've hit our goal doesn't mean that you get to continue underperforming, right? So we hit the goal, we're
Yes.
happy.
Yes.
So we're not going to boot you for that, but we still need to see you pushing because your score, like, I talk to people at 4 or 5 million who are doing higher score than some people in my guild. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
how is that? I don't understand how that's even possible when our
Yeah,
average
and like,
GP is 12.5 million.
and like, I think one of the most important things sometimes people forget is, I agree with something you said, that continuous growth in a roster is the most important thing. Like, I've
Yes.
had some people on the lower end of my roster, like our average GP is 13 point something at this point.
Okay.
Um, we have people like in the low 12s, and sometimes they message me like, am I gonna get just kicked one day? And I say to them every time, the only first of all, obviously, I'll if you get strikes for not doing an event, you'll know. But it's not that matters, right? If you're rising to the occasion, sure, it's okay if I have a few people at the top of my guild doing 17.1 million in the raid.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're doing that because they spent, you know. But if you're falling behind, if you can't hit the goals in a reasonable time frame, then you might be kicked out. You'll be notified, of course, but like, it's all about the growth and it's the effort, right? Like,
Yes. It's all
being in a
effort.
guild, it's like being in society, right? We agree to we have a social contract, right? We don't murder people, we don't attack people. Exchange, we can go to stores and buy stuff, and we're not anarchists in caves. Like, it's the same deal here. Like, you need to be an active member of your guild's community
One,
at the
yes,
end of the day.
100%, and it does. It comes down to the effort. So, like, people who are in my guild, and I just looked, our average is 13.1 million. People in our guild who are hitting like 2 million. If you're free to play, I get it, right? I understand that. I understand that you do not have the resources that other people in the guild have. But it does mean that you do need to still put priority towards saying, okay, when these guys become formable, I'm going to need to refresh them. I'm going to need to build towards that. It
Yeah,
doesn't mean that you get an excuse to just do whatever you want, because then it's not fair. And that's where that effort comes in, where I'm not going to boot people if they are putting in the effort to continue to get better.
exactly.
But if they're stagnating and saying, nah, I'm doing this thing because I want to do it, then it becomes a problem where it's not fair for the other 49 people in the guild who are all collectively building towards getting certain things. That's where the important is. Logan, good morning. I don't know if you're still
Yeah.
here, but I see you. I know I'm terrible when I have guests on. I ignore my chat, but it's good to hear from you, buddy. And it's all communication. I'm very communicative. I'm not the leader. I do a lot of the communicating though, and I'm very like, this is what's happening. This is the expectation. This is the timeline. Like, it's a mutual respect. I give you the notice, you give me the notice, and we're all happy.
Yeah, and obviously, if you're a player and your guild is not communicating, or they're, changing timelines on you and stuff, then those are just bad guild leaders, first and foremost, right? Like, again, back to what I said a few minutes ago, you're not locked into a guild. So
Yes.
for players, keep that in mind, right? Like, your leaders do need to be reasonable. And yeah, like what was said in chat, communication is really important. Like, one of my lowest GP guys, every few weeks, he has a spreadsheet of everything he's working on.
Hmm.
It's a very detailed spreadsheet, and he'll share it with me. And he's like, here are my goals. Here's what I've hit in the past months. I never asked him to do that. He just wants to do that to, keep his spot in the guild. And I respect that so much. Like, yes, it's okay that, you're at, 4 to 5 million in the raid when other people are getting 17 million,
Yeah.
because you're trying and you care, and, you're talking on Discord and stuff like that. Like, it's a game, it's fun, it's community. As long as you're trying to pull your weight, that's the important part.
100. Yes, that's 100%. And those are the people that I get rid of, is when we keep track and we keep score and we track metrics, like if you miss a raid. So we had somebody miss, like, do 300,000 in the raid last week. And we track that, because clearly you can do more than 300,000, something happened.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that in my notes, but that note isn't necessarily a strike against you. It's just me seeing if there
Yeah.
is a pattern, and if I see you missed it this week and you don't miss it again for like 6 months, clearly it's just something in life happened, and
Yeah.
it is what it is. But if I see that happening every other week, then I'm going to say, wait, there's a pattern happening here. Let's reach out to this guy and see what's going on. Because if that pattern is causing you to be outside of what the expectation should be for a guild of our level, then we need to talk about moving on from you. And I've had people in the past who we've had to let go because they no longer had the time to play at our level, but then who came back a year later and messaged me and said, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
This thing that was going on in my life, it's done now. I've been playing this entire time. I really want to get back with you guys. Can we make that happen? And I've let them back in, because it's just the respect of, look, it's not working right now. When priorities shift, we loved you, we enjoyed you, but we got to do what's right for the guild, the collective. And if it's a short-term thing, I have guys who go away for a week on vacation. It's fine. It's vacation. Like, I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
Zavor,
Yeah.
what normally happens with the raid, and this is, I don't know if you have this that happens to you, David, is because we have a few guys that do this. When I hit the raid, I always hit it right away. I do it day one, every single time.
Me too, usually. Yeah.
Because if something happens in my life, then I can
At
do it
least
on
it's
day.
done.
Well, at least it's done. But like, if something happens on that day, I can do it day two.
Yes.
But we have maybe like 5 guys who plan to do it on the last day, right? And it's always like they're just like, no, I do it on the last day. I do it on the last day. But then they come in and they go, my God, today is so busy. I can only hit it once. Do it on day 1. Yeah. Then you have 3 days.
Honestly, sometimes those people get kicked before people who like even if they're decent performers.
Yeah.
But they're doing every TB phase, every raid, TW attacks. I would say that is worse than like just straight up underperforming. Yeah. Honestly, it's just kind of stress. Like me having to tag someone, 5 times on the final day, 10 hours left, 8 hours left, 6 hours left, 4 hours left, 2 hours left, 30 minutes left,
When it comes to TB, this goes to everyone who's currently in chat. There are 47 people here right now, and they all need to fucking hear this. If you are a TB officer, it is basically a full-time job. And when you do shit in the last hour, it means that myself and my other TB officer need to sit on our phones, twiddling our dicks for the next 4 hours, checking to see if you got your shit done. And it's not fun. It fucking blows. It is the fucking worst when I have to sit on the couch watching TV with my wife, checking my phone every 15 goddamn minutes to see if you do your shit.
It's the most annoying thing.
Get your shit done. Don't wait till because I don't. Day one, I don't check till at night. The end of a day, I wait. You know, at 6 in the morning, I do a tag, and then I don't look again until like 10 a.m. Once it gets to that like last 3 to 4 hours, I have to constantly tag, and it's so fucking annoying. And if you're busy, because I get it, phases are one day, but if you're busy that particular day, oh shit, my work day got ahead of me, and I have 3 meetings that weren't planned. Just excuse yourself, go to the fucking bathroom, and deploy. I don't care. I understand if it happens once in a while that you can't do fucking combats, but make my life not fucking miserable.
And when you're in the game, because you know, at our level, right, people are definitely playing or opening the game several times a day.
Yeah.
It takes 30 seconds at most to open the game, TB, click a planet, press deploy. There's no excuse unless emergency, vacation, you know, no excuse otherwise.
Platooning takes, or not platoon, well, platooning too, but deploying takes 10 seconds.
Yeah.
At our level, we are daily players. This is not like a casual game that you play every other day and you go, oh shit, I haven't played Candy Crush in 4 days. Oh, I completely forgot about it.
It's a bare minimum.
This is literally your habit. This is your daily habit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, for me, it's like brushing my teeth, right? Like it's there. It's part of my day. There's no like, oh shit, I forgot about the game. You did not get to 14 million by forgetting about the game. You did not get all of the brand new shit by forgetting about the game. It takes 10 fucking seconds. And I've had like emergencies do come up, and I fully understand that.
Yeah.
I do.
Yes.
But 99% of the time, you are able to get into the game and just hit deploy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not rocket science. I was in Korea.
Also, side note,
on a 13-hour time difference doing my shit.
And you still got it in. Yeah.
You know, like it was weird because it was midnight when the phase is ending versus like whatever, but I still got my fucking shit in.
I have a guy, he was in my guild since day one. He co-founded the guild with me. We've been a guild for 6.5 years, just about. He has gotten 600 tickets every single day. His wife has never been in great health. He has 4 kids. He works a full-time job. He's gotten tickets in every single day. I remember the exact. At one point, I forgot when we founded the guild, but all I had to do was take his tickets and divide by 600 to figure out how many days ago our guild was founded. Like, there's very, and you know, he's been to the hospital a few times in the past 6.5 years and still gotten tickets in, and deployed in TV and whatever. It really is easy. Also, one thing I would recommend for guild officers, if you don't have this, is we call it a leave of absence channel. Whether, you know, if you're going on vacation, you know, if you have an emergency, just quick message, right? That's all we need. Like, if you're going on vacation, tell us in advance, like, especially for TB, because, you know, we have tools to exclude someone from platoons, obviously, with like Hotbot and stuff.
Yeah.
Or, Hotbot and EchoBot and WookieBot. Like, just tell your guilds, right? Like, you know, you're not putting in, you know, for PTO, like, but just tell us. Like, I had one guy, he's super consistent player. He's like, I'm going to be gone for a month in Japan. You know, I'll try to get my deploys in. And he told us 3 months in advance. He's like, if you need to replace me for that month, let me know. We didn't, though. I mean, he's an awesome guy. He still got his TB deploys in and stuff. He did a little bit in the raid. Like, that's all we need. We just need communication.
Exactly. Because it lets me know, like, not to rely on that person. But for the most part, 90% of the time, 90. Because I had a guy go on a cruise, and I'm not making him spend $20 a day on Wi-Fi on his cruise, right? Like, that's stupid. Yeah. But the majority of the time you do have Wi-Fi, I don't expect you to do your combats. You know, I had a guild member, Moonborn, who does all my graphics. One day he was sitting in line at an amusement park with his kids. He's like, hey, I'm waiting in line. Like, I have my 2 kids. They're like screaming. Like, I'll try to get my combats in. I know it's a TB phase. And I messaged him back. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Just deploy and enjoy your day. Like I don't
Yeah.
want you to not enjoy your day with your kids. Like do it, but just
Yeah.
just deploy. That's it. That's all I want from you when you're on vacation. And if you're not
And
going to be
especially with
around, I tell my guys, I say, listen, I'm not playing your account for you. I don't have the time in my day. But if you trust me and you send me your login, I'll deploy for you. So you don't even have to log in. Like I'll deploy for you. And if you tell me what your current farms are, if I have time, I'll even keep your farms up if I have the time, but I'll get your like the bare minimum done so you don't even have
yeah.
to worry about it.
And thankfully, unlike the previous TVs, like missions don't matter as much. So it's
Not
like
as much.
it, that's why I have some people who I see in the last 15 minutes they're doing missions. I'm like, you better not miss that deploy because that's way worse. Like
And
even in the final phases, the R9 phases, maybe you can get close to someone's GP with missions, but just press the deploy button.
if so it depends. How many stars are you guys doing in TB?
We were doing 43.
Okay, so we're doing 43. Our goal is 45 in the near term.
Me,
Um
us too. Yeah.
our my thought process with TB is missions are more important than they were a year ago for those
Yes.
stars, especially in those late days, especially now that like we do have teams for those because of the way we preload. Every combat from day 3 to day 6 compounds. So a day 3
Same plus. Yeah.
compound helps me on day 6. So they are not as important as they were in Lightside Geo. They still are important, but
No,
again,
definitely, definitely, definitely.
I'm not going to make someone not enjoy their vacation, right? Like
Yeah.
it is a game, and I do understand that. But keep in mind that you're playing with 49 other people, and just giving them 30 seconds of your time is all I ask. Like my wedding day, I woke up early and I did my missions. It was a TB week. I did my missions on my wedding day. It didn't affect my wedding day. I wake up early. I did them before my wife was even awake. When my dad passed away, I still did my missions, right? Like I'm not saying like I was sad, I was upset, like, but I'm not handling shit every day. I'm sitting there watching TV sad. I'm gonna do my missions, but I'm just asking you to deploy. Just fucking deploy. Make my
It's
life
part of the
not
social
miserable
contract.
of the
Yeah, it's
game.
part of just the social contract of being in a guild.
Yes.
Especially if
It's
you're in a more competitive one.
it's people, we're people, they're people. Like you have to like have that that understanding between people. So if nobody gets anything else out of today, just fucking deploy in TB and make your officers not miserable. We have guys who are like every week they're like, "Oh, I got pulled into a meeting and I did this and oh, I'm going to
Yeah.
try to get my combats done." Do it last night. If you know you're getting
Yeah.
pulled into a meeting every Wednesday, do it Tuesday night. Like, come on. Um, David, with that said, we are nearing a time when I need to make sure my wife is awake so that we can go see the movie. And there is a 50-50 chance that she is going to be like, no, let's go to a later one. So we do have to start winding down brunch. DT,
Okay.
KKM, fuck you, man. Maybe tomorrow morning. I might do my GAC tomorrow morning on stream at like 6 in the morning. So maybe I'll do more roster reviews and get yours done. But please, for the people who are here, you said so in the beginning. I know you have dropped your stuff in chat, but
Yeah.
pimp your shit out for now, and then we will call it a day.
So yeah, I'm David. I started Twitch stream. Well, first I with you a year ago helped you run stats on the big shock prod debate, which thankfully I've people have not talked about that as much
Not as
since
much.
because we shut them down. Thank God. Um so yeah, I'm a PhD student going for a degree in statistics. I am a lifelong gamer. I believe like Lego Star Wars Complete Saga was my first ever video game. Obviously, I'm younger. I think I'm the youngest content creator in this community. I'm 23. Just started like 2 weeks ago. I lead an endgame guild. I'm obviously a big fan of this game. I'm just a gamer in general, so I'm also doing a Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough with some of my guildies from Star Wars. You know, I just I'd love to have some people come in and join chat, talk to us, stuff like this, see some new video games. And yeah, I'd love to collab with you again in the future. I mean, glad we finally got to do this again.
Yeah, man. We've been friends for the year. And as I
Yeah.
said, I'm a little slut when it comes to talking to people. I enjoy doing it, and unfortunately, my time is not always there to be able to do it. But guys, go check out his stuff. And I'm not telling anybody to follow something that you don't enjoy, but you follow, you check it out, you see if you like it or you don't like it. And it's one of the things that I enjoy about this community is that it is a very, very supportive community. And there are a lot of cool
Yes,
people
definitely.
in the community, even if some of those people completely ghost you for a fucking year when they were in LA and you wanted to make sure that they were fucking alive during that time, and then they come back a year later and start talking to you as if I was the one ghosting them. Fucking depressed Wampa, you piece of shit. And I love you. I'm just kidding. I don't know if he's even still here anymore, but I wanted to call him out for that. Berm,
Oh,
hello. Good
oh,
morning. This is awkward because
oh.
we're actually finishing up. We're done for the day.
Actually, I just
But
want to say something real quick because I
yeah.
got a question, chat. My normal streaming time. So I am streaming. Currently, my schedule is 8 p.m. Eastern. Today, Sundays, and Wednesdays. I'm gonna do tonight my Grand Arena and Raid. Also, sometimes I'm gonna stream other games, but yeah. So Sunday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, later tonight. And oh yeah, we Raid right at the end. That's happened to me a few times so far.
It happens especially on Sunday morning. The most important thing is that I'm alive after all. That's fair, Wampa. Um, yeah, it happens on Sundays all the time. Either I'm rating Berm when he ends, or Berm is rating me when I end. It is what it is. But with that said, guys, I do need to go see Fantastic Four, or maybe I'm not until 11. I don't know. It depends on if my wife is actually awake.
Yeah.
But peace out. Have a great rest of your day. And again, 8 p.m. Eastern, you said, correct?
Yes. Yes.
GAC stream on David's Twitch. So, and no one else is on
Thank
Twitch.
you.